Every chatbot you have used writes its answer one word at a time. Google DeepMind's DiffusionGemma writes a whole block of words at once and sharpens them together. It is an open Gemma model, one you can download and run yourself, and the way it writes is borrowed from AI image generators. DiffusionGemma is an open model from Google DeepMind under Apache 2.0, so anyone can download and build on it. The weights have been out since June. What is new this week is the technical report that explains how the model works. The report is trending today. On one data center graphics chip, answering a single request, Google reports about 1,500 word pieces a second. A word piece is just a small chunk of text. That is about 7 times the ordinary Gemma it was built from. But it is less accurate than that same Gemma, and that trait is the whole story. What is genuinely new is how it writes. Every chatbot works the same way, one word at a time. The model predicts a word, feeds it back, predicts the next, and the sentence grows only left to right. That is the speed bottleneck. DiffusionGemma borrows the idea behind AI image generators. An image generator starts from a rough, noisy picture and sharpens it over a few passes. DiffusionGemma does the same thing with words. Google calls it discrete diffusion decoding. DiffusionGemma starts each block as a canvas of 256 word pieces, all blanked out. Then, in one trip through the model, it looks at the whole canvas and fills in its best guess for many positions at once. It repeats that a few times, each pass sharpening the block. Google reports it resolves about 20 word pieces on every pass and finishes a block in around a dozen passes. So, a paragraph that the one-word way needs dozens of separate trips for takes only a handful. That is where the speed comes from. Far fewer trips, the 7-fold jump on one chip from before. The blocks are still produced in order. Only the words inside each block are filled in together. Google did not train this from scratch. They took the ordinary Gemma 4 and converted its text have to work by diffusion in 2 stages on under 10% of the data the original Gemma needed. Stage 1 taught it to fill in blanked out words using the words on both sides. An ordinary chatbot can never do that because it only sees what came before. Stage 2 polished accuracy and speed together, squeezing many sharpening passes down to a few. Because it was converted, not rebuilt, it keeps the parent's skills. It still reads images and video and can even fall back to ordinary one-word writing with only minor loss. These numbers are all Google's own reported tests, DiffusionGemma, against the ordinary Gemma 4 it was built from. It trails the parent across the board, and the gap is uneven. On broad knowledge, it is nearly level, 77.6 to the parent's 82.6. On graduate-level science questions, 73.2 to 82.3. On coding problems, 69.1 to 77.1. On hard competition math, the gap blows open, 69.1 to 88.3. It holds up on broad knowledge and falls furthest behind on the hardest math. Google's report frames the result that way itself, a new point on the trade between speed and accuracy, not a win. Everything is out in the open. The weights are on Hugging Face, ungated, under the same permissive Apache 2.0 license, and the technical report, this week's news, is on Airhoive. The links are on screen. A chatbot writes one word at a time. DiffusionGemma borrows the trick behind image generators to sharpen a whole block at once, and runs several times faster on a single chip. Google's own numbers show that speed costs accuracy, most on the hardest reasoning. The interesting part is not a leaderboard. It is a genuinely different way to write text, and the first clear map of what it costs.